Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract money as if it were drawn to them by an unseen magnet, while others struggle endlessly no matter how hard they work? The truth is, wealth is not about effort alone. It is about alignment. The words you speak daily are not empty sounds, they are powerful commands to the universe, shaping the very reality you walk into. Every sentence, every declaration, carries with it the seed of either abundance or lack. If you have been speaking words of doubt, fear, or limitation, you have unknowingly built walls that keep money from reaching you. But if you choose today to speak words of faith, expectancy, and divine authority, those walls crumble instantly, and money flows to you without resistance. There is a daily practice, simple, sacred, and certain, that unlocks this flow. When you understand it, and when you speak it with conviction, you will no longer chase after wealth. Wealth will come chasing after you. There is a hidden law that governs every life, yet so few recognize it. It is the law of the word. Every word spoken carries within it a vibration, a seed, a command sent forth into the invisible realm to bring back to you its likeness. If you have been speaking words of lack, words of fear, words of, "I cannot afford," "money never comes to me," or "I am always struggling," then you have unconsciously sown a harvest of struggle, and life has been faithful to return to you what you have planted. But the moment you understand that your tongue holds the key to your treasure house, your life begins to shift. For money does not arrive simply by chance, nor does prosperity visit the one who waits idly. Money flows to the one who speaks it into being, who claims it as already present, and who understands that the spoken word shapes the unseen forces of abundance. Each morning when you rise, the words you choose are more powerful than the clothes you wear, the breakfast you eat, or the plans you make. Words set the tone of the day. If you say, "I am broke," then the day conspires to prove you right. If you say, "I am rich in divine supply," then invisible currents begin to move, bringing people, opportunities, and unexpected streams of money into your experience. The spoken word is creative, for it calls into form that which has not yet appeared. Consider how a gardener plants a seed in soil. Though invisible to the eye for days or weeks, that seed is already forming, breaking open, growing roots. Your words act in the same way. When you speak words of prosperity with conviction, they descend into the soil of your subconscious, they take root in the unseen, and in time they break forth into visible manifestation. Think of how often we are careless with words. We complain about bills, we murmur about lack, we curse the high prices of life, never realizing that in doing so we magnify the very condition we wish to escape. The law is exact: whatever you magnify with your word, you multiply in your life. If you declare, "Everything is too expensive," you have sealed yourself off from the channels of supply. But if you declare, "Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways, everything I need is paid for with ease," you have opened the gates to abundance. It is never the outer world that determines your supply, it is your inner decree. The great secret is that the spoken word is a command to the invisible forces of life. When you speak in faith, you summon the universe to reorganize itself on your behalf. When you affirm wealth daily, you are not begging for riches, you are claiming your rightful inheritance. Money is not an enemy, it is energy. It responds like a faithful servant to the words of its master. If you command it to leave, it departs. If you call it forth with certainty, it comes rushing to you. But the word must be spoken not as a wish, not as a weak hope, but as an established fact. To say, "I will be rich some day," is to cast prosperity always in the distance. To say, "I am rich now, my supply is unlimited, and money flows to me in rivers of abundance," is to root yourself in the present power of wealth. The subconscious does not know the difference between the seen and the unseen, between what is present and what is yet to arrive. It only obeys the word spoken with conviction. Therefore, if daily you affirm riches as your present reality, the subconscious aligns your actions, your instincts, your opportunities, and even the circumstances of others to bring it forth. The careless tongue is the greatest thief of wealth. Many sabotage themselves not because they lack ability or intelligence, but because they constantly declare failure with their lips. A man may work hard, yet cancel his prosperity by declaring, "Nothing ever works out for me." A woman may have brilliant ideas, yet destroy them by saying, "No one will ever value this." The universe listens. Every word you speak is a prayer. Every declaration is a prophecy. You are constantly prophesying your future by the words you utter today. When you begin to understand this, you guard your mouth as you would guard a treasure chest. You no longer speak idly, because you know that even idle words carry weight. You begin to use words deliberately, speaking prosperity where once you spoke lack, speaking wealth where once you spoke poverty, speaking abundance where once you spoke limitation. You realize that your word is the one that transforms your reality. To attract money instantly, your declaration must be alive with feeling. A lifeless word carries no power. A word charged with faith, emotion, and certainty calls forth instant results. If you say, "I am wealthy," but feel no conviction, the soil is too dry for the seed to grow. But if you declare, "I am wealthy, I am abundantly supplied. Money comes to me now," and you feel the truth vibrating through your body, then doors will open, events will align, and money will appear in surprising ways. The word and the feeling together form the magnet that draws prosperity into your life. Every man and woman has the choice daily to speak curses or to speak blessings, to speak poverty or to speak riches. Life bends according to the words you set upon it. If you desire wealth, then let your lips become fountains of prosperity. Instead of saying, "I cannot afford it," declare, "It is already mine in divine right order." Instead of saying, "I never have enough," declare, "I live in overflowing abundance." Instead of saying, "Money is hard to come by," declare, "Money flows to me with ease and grace." Each declaration is a seed, and each seed will bring forth a harvest after its kind. The mind, too, is reshaped by the daily word. When you constantly speak wealth, your mind grows accustomed to seeing wealth, expecting wealth, creating wealth. Ideas arise that you never thought of before. You notice opportunities that once passed you by. People feel drawn to you, sensing the confidence of one who knows he is prosperous. Money is attracted to the confident, the faithful, the certain. Money is repelled by fear, doubt, and complaint. Thus, your spoken word not only shapes the unseen, but also reshapes your inner world, preparing you to receive what you have declared. Never underestimate the power of repetition. A single declaration may plant the seed, but daily repetition waters it until it grows strong and unstoppable. Each morning, speak your declaration of wealth with conviction. Each night, affirm your abundance before sleep, so the subconscious may continue its work while you rest. The more consistent your declaration, the faster money rushes to you, for words are not bound by time. What you declare now echoes in the eternal, and eternity hastens to deliver it into your hands. The power of the spoken word is the power of instant transformation. Many have lived for years in poverty, yet the moment they begin to speak prosperity daily, their lives turn swiftly. What years of struggle could not do, a few days of faithful declaration accomplish. For words go where hands cannot. They reach into realms unseen, they touch the invisible streams of supply, and they draw from them the visible riches of life. This is why you must never speak lightly of your finances. To say, "I am always broke," is to chain yourself to lack. To say, "Money is always leaving me," is to push away the very thing you seek. But to say, "I live in divine wealth, I am open to receive unlimited supply. Money comes to me joyfully and abundantly," is to align yourself with the great law of prosperity. You speak it, you feel it, you believe it, and life cannot help but return it to you multiplied. Life delivers not what you merely wish for, but what you expect. Expectancy is the secret door through which all good enters. It is not enough to say words of prosperity if, deep inside, you still anticipate lack. The law of expectancy demands that you hold a firm belief that what you speak is already on its way to you, that money is moving in your direction at this very moment, and that it cannot be withheld. What you expect, you attract. What you fear, you invite. Your expectation is the magnet that draws conditions, people, and opportunities into your life. Consider the difference between a person who prays for wealth, while secretly believing it is unlikely, and another who declares wealth with absolute certainty. The first sends forth words, but cancels them with doubt. The second speaks words, but undergirds them with expectancy, and the universe rushes to fulfill them. For expectancy is faith in motion. It is faith dressed in action, standing ready to receive. If your hands are closed in fear, you cannot receive. If your heart is closed in doubt, nothing can enter. But when you expect, you fling the doors wide open, and the supply rushes in. Think of a child who awaits a promised gift. The child does not question whether it will arrive. The child expects it with joy, speaks of it with certainty, and looks forward to it with excitement. That expectancy prepares the child's heart to receive, and it is precisely the spirit required for attracting wealth. You must become as a child in expectancy, joyful, unquestioning, eager, and confident. When you speak your daily declarations, let expectancy rise in you as if the wealth is already at the door, waiting only for you to open it. There are countless who speak affirmations, but wonder afterward, will this work for me? That question itself is a form of expectancy, an expectancy of delay, of struggle, of disappointment. Life is obedient. It will echo back your hidden expectation. If you expect failure, you will fail. If you expect delay, you will be delayed. If you expect poverty, you will continue in poverty. But if you expect money, money must come. If you expect abundance, abundance must appear. If you expect sudden windfalls must arrive. For expectation is not a vague wish. It is a magnetic force that bends reality toward itself. Your words are the seeds, but your expectancy is the soil. A seed planted in rocky ground cannot thrive. A seed sown in fertile earth springs forth with power. In the same way, words spoken without expectancy lie dormant, but words spoken with expectancy sprout quickly, pushing through the invisible into form. This is why some declare wealth and see results immediately, while others struggle for months without fruit. The difference is not in the words, but in the expectancy behind them. To live in expectancy, you must banish doubt as you would banish a thief. Doubt steals your harvest before it appears. Doubt whispers, what if this does not work? What if money does not come? What if I am left empty-handed? Each what if is a chain, binding your supply in the invisible. To break those chains, you must replace every doubt with an immediate declaration of faith. When the thought arises, this may not happen for me, answer with, it is happening now, I expect it with certainty. When the fear says, money is hard to find, answer with, money finds me easily and joyfully. In this way you train the mind to expect only abundance. Expectation is not passive. It is not sitting idly, waiting for miracles. Expectation is active. It sharpens the senses. It makes you alert to doors that are opening. It compels you to act on opportunities that once passed unnoticed. The man who expects wealth sees a business idea in what others call trivial. The woman who expects prosperity notices the very connection others overlook. Life responds more to your expectancy than to your effort. For two people may labor equally hard, yet one fails while the other prospers. The prosperous one carries expectancy as an invisible crown, and life bows to it. You must also understand that expectancy collapses time. What many believe will take years can happen in moments when expectancy is strong. Have you not noticed how, when you dread something, it seems to arrive quickly? Expectancy works the same in prosperity. When you truly expect money to come instantly, it hurries its steps. The moment you declare, I am open to receive now, and you expect without wavering, channels open swiftly, a gift appears, a check arrives, a debt is repaid, a new source of income presents itself. Life delights in proving the faithful expectation true. It is wise then to speak words of expectancy aloud each day. Instead of saying, "I hope money comes," say, "I expect money to come today. I expect surprises of abundance. I expect doors to open before me." Speak it as though the invisible currents are already in motion, and indeed they are, for expectancy sets those currents swirling, rearranging events, touching hearts, moving resources, until your supply is visible before your eyes. Guard your environment carefully, for expectancy can be weakened by the voices of others. Many live in perpetual doubt, and if you allow their words to saturate your mind, you may unconsciously adopt their expectancy of lack. Stand firm. When others speak of struggle, you must silently declare abundance. When they speak of scarcity, you must inwardly affirm plenty. Do not allow another's expectation to poison your own. Remember, you alone choose the harvest you expect, and no one can rob you of it unless you agree. Expectancy is also linked with gratitude. To expect without gratitude is to demand without appreciation. But when you combine gratitude with expectancy, you create the perfect vibration for wealth. Gratitude says, "I already have." Expectancy says, "More is on the way." Together they form the double force that money cannot resist. Each morning, be grateful for the money already in your hands, however small it may seem, and then expect the greater increase. Each night, give thanks for the abundance that day has brought, and expect even more the following day. This rhythm of gratitude and expectancy keeps the channels of wealth open wide. The law of expectancy is precise. It will not fail you if you will not fail it. It requires consistency, for the universe does not respond to a divided mind. A mind that expects abundance today but expects failure tomorrow will receive confusion. But a mind steady in expectancy, unwavering in faith, is like a magnet so powerful it draws riches from every direction. When you live daily in expectancy, money cannot help but appear. It may come swiftly, it may come through unexpected means, but it must come, for expectancy is the silent decree that commands supply. This is why you must not only speak prosperity but expect it. To speak without expectancy is like writing a letter and never mailing it, but to speak with expectancy is to send forth a command that must return fulfilled. You must walk as one who is already prosperous, think as one who already has, and expect as one who knows that life always delivers according to faith. In this way, you harmonize word and belief, and the law of expectancy does its perfect work. Fear and doubt are the greatest thieves of wealth. They creep into the mind like shadows, disguising themselves as caution, wisdom, or practicality, but their only purpose is to block the flow of abundance. A person may speak words of prosperity every morning, yet if those words are followed by fear-filled thoughts during the day, the power of the declaration is cancelled. It is as if one hand builds while the other tears down. Fear whispers that there is never enough. Doubt murmurs that wealth may come to others but not to you. Together, they form a barrier through which money cannot flow. To attract wealth instantly, you must cast out fear and dissolve doubt, for only faith and certainty can open the channels of supply. Fear often hides in the most common phrases. When you say, "I must hold on to this money or I'll lose it," fear has spoken. When you say, "I don't know how I will ever pay these bills," fear has spoken. When you say, "What if money doesn't come in time?" doubt has spoken. And whatever fear and doubt declare, life will echo back. Fear attracts the very conditions it dreads. Doubt creates delay where there should be speed. If you fear poverty, poverty clings to you. If you doubt abundance, abundance stays away. The law is exact. What you focus on with emotion and belief must appear. Thus, every fearful thought is like an unwanted order sent to the universe. The only way to remove fear is to replace it with faith-filled words spoken aloud until the subconscious is reprogrammed. The mind cannot hold both fear and faith at the same time. One must give way to the other. If you feel fear rising, do not let it linger. Answer it immediately with a declaration of truth. When the thought arises, "I don't know how I will make ends meet," answer with, "All my needs are met in perfect order." Money comes to me easily and abundantly. When fear says, I might fail, answer with, success is mine by divine right, and I cannot fail. By speaking aloud the opposite of fear, you silence its voice and fill the atmosphere with faith. Doubt is subtler than fear, but just as dangerous. Doubt does not always scream, it often whispers. It asks, are you sure this will work? Isn't it foolish to believe in words? What if nothing changes? Doubt feeds on hesitation. If you hesitate in your declaration, doubt grows stronger. But doubt has no real power except the power you give it. It cannot create, it can only delay. The moment you refuse to entertain doubt, it dies. Each time you feel doubt, reaffirm your prosperity more strongly. Say aloud, I expect money now. I live in abundance now. My wealth is certain. Speak until the words sink deeper than the doubt, until they ring louder than the questions. It is also important to remove fear of money itself. Many secretly fear money, even while desiring it. They fear losing it. They fear not knowing how to handle it. They fear that wealth might corrupt them or draw envy from others. Such fears repel supply. For how can money enter where it is secretly unwelcome? You must learn to love money as you would love a trusted friend. Speak kindly of it. Bless it as it passes through your hands. Declare, money is my servant, it comes to me joyfully, and I use it wisely and freely. In this way, you dissolve fear of money and create a magnetic bond with it. Another common fear is the fear of lack. Many live as though scarcity is inevitable, hoarding, withholding, clinging tightly to every coin. This fear of loss shuts the gates of supply. The law is clear: whatever you fear, you attract. If you fear losing, you will lose. If you fear poverty, you will experience poverty. The cure is to affirm daily that you live in an abundant universe, where there is always more supply than demand. Say, there is no lack in divine substance. Money flows to me freely and endlessly. When you release fear of lack, you open yourself to infinite channels of supply. One of the greatest truths is that fear and faith are both creative forces. Fear creates what it dreads. Faith creates what it desires. Fear is faith in the wrong direction. Doubt is faith in nothingness. But faith in abundance, spoken daily and believed fully, creates riches. Therefore, to remove fear, you must redirect faith. Instead of believing in poverty, believe in wealth. Instead of expecting delay, expect instant supply. Instead of imagining disaster, imagine success. The imagination fueled by faith is the workshop of wealth. Practical steps help too. Whenever fear or doubt arises, take a physical action that affirms faith. Pay a bill joyfully, declaring, this bill is already paid in divine order. Give a small gift, declaring, money flows out joyfully, and it returns multiplied. Take a step toward your goal, no matter how small, declaring, every step I take prospers me. By acting in faith, you silence fear. By moving with expectancy, you prove doubt wrong. Life always rewards the one who acts as though the supply is certain. Fear and doubt also feed on memory. They remind you of past failures, past losses, past disappointments. They say, remember when you tried and it did not work. Remember when money slipped away. To remove fear, you must stop rehearsing the past and begin rehearsing the future. Speak not of what you lost, but of what you are gaining. Speak not of past mistakes, but of present abundance. Say, the past is gone, I live in a new day of wealth. I am free from every limitation. By anchoring your words in the present and future, you leave no room for fear of what has been. The removal of fear and doubt requires consistency. They may return again and again, like unwanted visitors knocking at your door. Each time, you must refuse to let them in. Speak your truth, hold your declaration, stand firm in faith. Over time, they will come less and less, until they vanish entirely. When fear is gone, your mind is calm. When doubt is silenced, your expectancy is strong. And in that calm expectancy, money flows swiftly, for nothing stands in the way. To attract money instantly, you must live as if fear and doubt no longer exist. Walk with confidence. Speak with respect, with joy. Declare boldly, I am fearless. I am full of faith. Money rushes to me now. And as you do, you will feel the shift within, the opening of channels, the clearing of obstacles, the free flow of wealth. Fear and doubt cannot survive in the presence of such faith. And when they are gone, prosperity becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Money is never meant to be a struggle. Wealth is not a prize reserved for a few. It is part of the natural order when one is aligned with the higher laws of life. To align with divine order is to step into harmony with the universe, to place yourself where supply flows without obstruction. Many wrestle with money as though it were separate from the great plan of creation, as if abundance were outside the reach of the spirit. But money is simply energy, a current that flows through divine channels, and when you are aligned, it flows to you with grace and ease. The universe is orderly, not chaotic. Every star moves in its appointed path, every season follows the next. Every tide knows its rhythm, so too does supply follow law. There is no randomness in the arrival of money. If it seems delayed, it is because you have stepped out of alignment. If it arrives swiftly, it is because you are harmonized with divine order. Alignment is the key. When you speak words of wealth with faith, and you live in expectancy without fear, you are already drawing yourself into that order. But alignment requires more. It requires that your desires, thoughts, words, and actions move together as one, tuned to the frequency of abundance. Divine order is abundance itself. Look around at nature. The trees do not hoard leaves, they shed them freely, knowing more will return. The earth does not fear lack, it produces harvest after harvest. The river does not clutch at its water, it flows endlessly, replenished by unseen sources. Scarcity is not divine order, abundance is. When you align with this truth, you stop speaking of lack, you stop fearing supply, you stop doubting your provision. You realize that money is part of the same abundant current that flows through all creation. To align with divine order, you must first align your thoughts. Thoughts of worry are out of tune. Thoughts of envy or resentment toward the wealthy are out of tune. Thoughts of unworthiness are out of tune. These dissonant thoughts create blocks, just as debris can dam a river. Alignment means clearing the channel so that the river of supply flows freely. The way to clear it is through daily affirmation. Declare, I am one with divine order. My supply is perfect, my wealth is perfect, my abundance is endless. Let this thought replace every thought of chaos or disorder. Alignment also requires harmony in your words. You cannot speak prosperity in the morning and complain of lack in the afternoon. Every complaint is a note out of tune. Every negative word is a discordant sound. If you desire alignment, you must train your tongue to speak only words that match abundance. Say, I am richly supplied, money flows to me joyfully. Everything I need arrives on time and in perfect order. Speak these words not as a performance but as a song of truth, and life will echo them back. But alignment is not only thoughts and words, it is also action. Divine order moves in rhythm, and your actions must move with it. If you desire wealth, act as though you are already wealthy. Do not postpone joy until money arrives. Live joyfully now. Do not wait to be generous until you are rich. Give something now, even if it is small, for the act itself aligns you with the flow. Divine order requires circulation. Money, like blood, must move to sustain life. When you circulate money with faith, spending joyfully, giving freely, investing wisely, you align with its eternal rhythm, and it returns multiplied. Another part of alignment is timing. Divine order is never rushed and never late. When you are aligned, money arrives precisely when needed, never a moment too soon or too late. Impatience is a sign of misalignment. Worrying over when money will come is stepping out of harmony. The aligned soul declares, money arrives at the perfect time. I am always provided for, and indeed life proves this true. Sometimes the supply comes instantly, sometimes at the final hour, but always in exact divine order. The more you trust this rhythm, the faster and smoother supply flows. Alignment also demands that you see wealth as part of your purpose. Money does not come merely to sit idle, it comes to serve divine intention. When you align with purpose, money rushes to you because it has a work to do through you. Ask yourself, what is the higher purpose of my wealth? How will it bless others? How will it circulate good in the world? When your intention is aligned with good, your supply cannot be withheld. The universe trusts you as a faithful channel, and channels that flow freely are always replenished. Many block their wealth by believing they must struggle, strive, or fight for it. But struggle is not divine order. Struggle is resistance. Harmony is effortless. Just as the sun does not strain to rise, and the moon does not struggle to glow, your wealth does not need to come through exhaustion or force. It comes through alignment. When you are aligned, ideas arrive easily, opportunities unfold naturally, people appear at the right moment. Life arranges itself on your behalf. You may work, but your work feels inspired, flowing, fruitful, never exhausting. Alignment with divine order also removes comparison. Looking at others and envying their wealth is misalignment. Measuring your abundance against another's is discord. Divine order gives each according to their path, and your path is unique. Aligning means trusting that your supply is tailor-made for you, that it cannot be stolen, delayed, or diminished. Declare, what is mine by divine right is always on its way to me. Nothing can stop it. Nothing can alter it. Nothing can take it from me. In this way, you rest in peace, knowing that your wealth is safe in the hands of divine order. Even in apparent setbacks, alignment keeps you steady. If a bill arrives, you do not panic. You declare, this too is in divine order, and the money to cover it is already provided. If an opportunity seems lost, you affirm, something better is in divine order, and it comes now. This alignment transforms every challenge into a blessing, every delay into a preparation, every loss into a gain. Nothing disturbs the one who is aligned, for he knows that supply is constant, perfect, and eternal. Ultimately, alignment with divine order is a state of surrender. It is releasing your grip on fear, doubt, and control, and trusting that the universe is unfailing in its supply. It is saying, I am part of the divine plan, I am in my right place, I am richly supplied, and all things are working together for my prosperity. When you live in this awareness, wealth flows not by chance but by law, and money appears instantly when you call it, for you are aligned with the very source of abundance. There is a key that unlocks the storehouse of abundance. It is the daily declaration, spoken with unwavering faith and repeated until it becomes the very rhythm of your being. Words shape reality. Expectancy draws supply, faith removes fear, and alignment harmonizes you with divine order. Yet without the sacred practice of a daily declaration, these truths remain scattered. The declaration gathers them into one focused force, a current of power that calls wealth instantly into form. A declaration is not a mere phrase, not a casual sentence tossed into the air. It is a command to the unseen, a decree to the universe, a statement that rewrites the very blueprint of your life. When spoken daily, it imprints itself upon the subconscious, and the subconscious, in turn, reshapes your thoughts, emotions, and actions to match the truth of the words. Repeated faithfully, the declaration becomes law, and the law must manifest. The sacred daily declaration is not about begging or pleading. It is not about convincing life to give you what you do not have. It is about claiming what is already yours by divine right. Money exists in infinite supply. Abundance surrounds you even now, waiting for a channel through which to flow. Your declaration is that channel. Each word you speak with conviction is like opening a gate in the invisible, through which the river of prosperity rushes in. The power of the declaration lies not in its length but in its certainty. A few words, spoken with absolute conviction, carry more power than 1,000 words mumbled in doubt. For example, when you rise in the morning and declare, I am rich in divine substance. Money flows to me now in perfect ways. You have aligned yourself with wealth for the entire day. When you say before sleep, all my needs are met, I am endlessly supplied. You have set the subconscious to work during the night, drawing prosperity even as you rest. The secret is consistency. One declaration spoken once may plant a seed, but daily repetition waters it until it becomes a harvest. The more you repeat, the deeper it penetrates, until it is no longer a statement you make. It becomes your identity. You no longer say, "I am wealthy," as a hope. You say it as a fact. And when the subconscious accepts it as fact, life mirrors it without delay. Many wonder what the perfect daily declaration is. The truth is, the power lies not in the exact wording, but in the faith and expectancy behind it. Yet there are sacred phrases that have opened the doors of wealth for countless souls. One such declaration is, "I am one with infinite supply." Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways, quickly and easily, under grace and in perfect order. This single affirmation contains all the elements of prosperity: oneness with supply, openness to both known and unknown channels, expectancy of ease and speed, and alignment with divine order. To speak this declaration daily is to anchor yourself in wealth consciousness. When fear arises, declare it. When doubt whispers, declare it louder. When bills appear, declare it with even greater conviction. Each time you speak it, you are not only commanding the invisible, but training your mind to accept prosperity as natural. Soon, it ceases to be a practice and becomes the truth of your being. The sacred declaration also shifts your vibration. Money is energy, and it responds to vibration. A fearful vibration repels it, a doubtful vibration delays it, but a confident vibration attracts it instantly. When you declare wealth daily, your vibration rises to the frequency of abundance. You feel lighter, freer, more confident. And in that vibration, money finds you quickly, for like attracts like. It is important, too, that you speak your declaration with feeling. Words without emotion are like seeds scattered on stone, they cannot grow. But words charged with feeling penetrate deeply. When you say, "I am rich in divine substance," feel the wealth around you, feel the security of endless supply, feel the joy of abundance already present. The stronger the feeling, the faster the manifestation. Speak it with joy, with gratitude, with confidence, as though the money were already in your hand. Some hesitate, thinking it is dishonest to declare what they cannot yet see. But the unseen is more real than the seen, for it is the source of all manifestation. To declare wealth before it appears is not a lie, it is an act of faith. It is speaking the truth of the unseen until it becomes visible. Every great creation began this way: spoken first, believed next, manifested last. Your daily declaration is simply the first step in that eternal process. The sacred declaration must also be protected. Do not cancel it with words of lack later in the day. Do not say in the morning, "Money flows to me easily," and then in the afternoon, "I can never afford anything." Such contradictions weaken the vibration. Let your whole day agree with your morning declaration. If you find yourself tempted to complain, stop and reaffirm your truth. "I am abundantly supplied." If others speak lack around you, silently reaffirm, "I live in wealth." Protect the seed of your declaration until it bears fruit. Over time, the daily declaration transforms more than your finances. It changes your entire being. You become confident, joyful, unshakable. You no longer fear bills, delays, or setbacks, for you know that your words command wealth. You become magnetic, drawing not only money but people, ideas, and opportunities that align with your prosperity. Life begins to bend around your words, and you live as one who is truly in command of abundance. The beauty of the daily declaration is that it works for everyone. You do not need special education, background, or circumstance. You do not need to be born wealthy. All you need is your word, your faith, your expectancy. Speak the declaration daily, and life must respond, for the universe is obedient to the one who knows his power and uses it with certainty. In time, you will find that the declaration no longer feels like a tool. It feels like truth. You will wake in the morning already aware of your wealth. You will walk through the day expecting money at every turn. You will lie down at night with peace, knowing that your supply is endless, and in that state of being, money does not come and go. It flows constantly, endlessly, abundantly, as naturally as the air you breathe. Wealth is not a distant dream, nor is money a prize that must be wrestled from life. Prosperity is the natural state of one who understands the power of the word, the law of expectancy, the release of fear and doubt, the harmony of divine order, and the practice of the sacred daily declaration. Every truth we have explored flows into one radiant realization. You are not separate from abundance. You are one with it. The words you speak are seeds. The expectancy you hold is the soil. The removal of fear is the clearing of weeds. Divine order is the rhythm of the seasons, and your daily declaration is the sunlight that calls it all into bloom. When these forces unite within you, money cannot help but appear. It rushes to you, not by chance but by law. It flows to you, not through struggle, but through alignment. It answers to your voice, because your voice is the command of spirit itself. Never again need you fear lack, for lack is an illusion born of doubt. Never again need you chase after money, for money flows freely to the one who is aligned. Your task is simple: speak with faith, expect with joy, release fear, trust divine order, and declare daily the wealth that is already yours. Do this with consistency, and soon you will look around and see the reflection of your words in every area of your life. Bills paid with ease, doors opening in perfect timing, money arriving through channels both seen and unseen. Prosperity is not something you pursue, it is something you allow. It is the song of the universe, always playing, waiting only for you to join in. And when you do, you will find that money is no longer an obstacle, no longer a burden, no longer a chase. It is simply the faithful servant of your spoken word, the joyful companion of your faith, and the visible evidence of your alignment with divine order.